Hey guys, my name is Daniel Mudheki. I'd like to thank you all so much for joining me. Most importantly, I'd like to thank God for enabling us to be here. Well, in today's video, I'd like us to talk about something that is really important in our lives today. And this is friendship. You know, friendship is a relationship of mutual affection between people. And almost every living thing today has had the need to socialize with its own kind. And this is no exception to us as human beings. You know, from a very early age, we have found the urge to socialize and interact with those around us. And with so doing, we have formed friendships. You know, we have used terms such as my best friend, my buddy, my friend for life, colleague, acquaintance. And from these friendships, either the best of us has been brought out or the worst of us. You know, with some we have enjoyed beautiful moments, but with others we have experienced horrid moments. And this has made a lot of us to question the quality of friendships that we have. You know, we've asked ourselves, have I been the kind of friend that others have needed? Or have others been the kind of friend that I have needed? You know, a great philosopher by the name Aristotle, in 350 BC, in one of his books, spoke about three different kinds of friendships. And the first was a friendship of utility. And the source of this friendship was not from a mutual affection between both parties. However, this is brought about by the fact that both parties receive a benefit from this friendship. You know, this is a very short-lived kind of friendship because it is highly dependent on the benefit that both parties are getting. The moment this benefit is taken away, the relationship dies. And a good example for this would be, you know, work or business friendships or relationships. You know, colleagues. Sometimes you find that when you moved jobs, then your friendships just ended like that. The second kind of friendship that Aristotle talks about is friendship of pleasure. You know, this kind of friendship is sourced from the fact that two parties find enjoyment in a mutual interest that they both share. You know, this could be sports, this could be outdoor activities, this could be a hobby. And as the first one, this is also a very short-lived kind of relationship because it is highly dependent on either parties maintaining this mutual interest. Because the moment either party stops enjoying this thing, then that friendship is dead. You know, this is highly prevalent in younger people who have a lot of different ways of enjoyment. And so when preference change, friends also change. And so you'll find when you are younger, your turnover of friendship is a bit high. The third kind of friendship that Aristotle talked about was friendship of the good. And this friendship is sourced from a mutual respect and appreciation of the virtues that each party holds. You know, the incentive of this friendship is actually the people themselves and the values, the vision, and the goals that they have within themselves. And this is what brings them together as friends. You know, this is not a very easy friendship to forge, and it takes time. However, unlike the first two, once this is formed, it lasts a lifetime. And, you know, one very important thing that we need to understand is that there are certain qualities that you need to look out for a good friend, okay? And also to understand where do your friends fall in the above three we have mentioned. One quality of a good friend is that they will always tell you the truth, no matter how it is. Even when you don't want to hear it, they'll tell it to you. You know, most times you'll see people will keep quiet and watch you self-destruct. They'll watch you destroy yourself and say nothing about it. But a true friend will always step up and tell you the truth. A true friend will always encourage you to achieve your goals, visions, and dreams. You know, not everybody wants to see you grow. Not everybody wants to see you prosper. However, a good friend will hold you accountable of the things you do, and they will ensure that you are on the right path to achieve your vision and your goals. Another third one is a good friend will celebrate with you your big wins. In life today, not everybody celebrates your success. In fact, most people end up not being happy for you when you're doing something good. But one thing I'd like to remind you guys is that as plants in a field grow at different rates, so do us as human beings develop at different rates. Your friend might develop faster than you. Your friend might start doing things greater faster than you. However, this does not mean that you will not get there. And so a good friend will celebrate the big wins that the other person is going through. Another good quality of a good friend is that they will be with you through thick and thin, through good times and bad times. There's a guy who said that in prosperity, our friends know us, but in adversity, you know your friends. When things are good, sometimes you even walk around with a power bank because you need to keep charging your phone because everybody's calling you. Everybody wants to speak to you. Everybody wants something to do with you. But I'll tell you the truth. When things become thick, things become difficult, then you get to know who your true friends are. Because people stop calling you, people stop looking for you. Another very important quality in friends is that a good friend is loyal, faithful at all times. And let me tell you, my friends, this should be something you should never, ever, ever compromise on. A good friend will be loyal to you. A good friend will be faithful to you. And these are things that when you compromise, then you only have yourself to blame. And finally, a good friend will always be dependable. And I remember asking a friend of mine one day that if he was not here anymore, which of his friends would he like to continue taking care of his family and raising his children? And to me, that was a very important question, because you'll only choose someone who's dependable, someone who you know will be there for them the way you would have been there for them. And so it's important that our friends are people who are dependable in life. Today, unfortunately, most of us are still keeping friends with people who have none of the qualities we have mentioned. They gossip you every chance they get. They judge you at every situation. They take advantage of you. They lie to you. They are people who are not trustworthy. You cannot depend on them in anything you do. And this is very, very unfortunate. And you ask yourself, why is my life complicated? There's a man who said, if you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. And this brings me to the analogy of the tree and friendship. The tree has leaves, branches, and roots. And in the analogy of the tree with friends, we have friends who are like leaves. They are there when the season is right. They are there when things are good. They are there when everything is flowing on well. But the moment you are hit by a storm, the moment you are hit by any wind, they're the first to leave. They cannot handle the pressure. And one thing is this, don't be angry with them, because that's who they are. The most important thing is that you need to know who they are and identify them so that you don't place any weight on them. The second kind of people are the branch people. Unlike the leaves, the branches will hold on when the winds become strong. The branches will hold on when there's a storm. However, when you get hit by 2 or 3 storms, then the branches become weak and they break. And so are some of the friends that we have. They will be there when things are bad. However, it is questionable for how long they'll be there. And so you must be very careful before you place your weight on them, lest you place your weight and they break. Thirdly are the roots. If you forge friendships such as the roots and a tree, then you're in a good place. Because the single work of the roots is to hold up the tree, to support it, to nourish it with nutrients, and to ensure that it is healthy. And so these are the kind of friends who not everybody will see because they're underneath, but they will support you when you go through a storm. They will be happy for you when you're successful. They will make sure they hold you down when you need someone to hold down. And so, in life, I came to understand that it is important that we are able to segment our friendships, that we are able to identify the friendships that we have. Because many a times, we are heartbroken or disappointed because we expected too much from somebody who was a leaf in our lives. We expected too much from somebody who's a branch in our lives. We expected too much from a friendship of utility. We expected too much from a friendship of pleasure. And so, none of these friendships are bad. The only thing that is important is for you to understand, where do you place everyone? And most importantly, where do they place you? Because then you are able to measure and balance your friendships. And so friendship is something that we need to really study before we invest in it. You need to understand the nature of your friendships. You need to understand the kind of friendships that you have. And you need to segment them where they need to be, so that you don't end up expecting too much from people who cannot deliver. And so until next time, may God bless you all and be safe. Goodbye.